Mignona versus Funimation. It's official, people. The lawsuit has been filed. Now, the reason that you've been hearing about this a lot more recently is because this lawsuit has hit mainstream media. And how much is Vic suing them for? Say it with me, people. 1 million. Obviously, Vic is trying to take them to the bank here. So let's look over some of the details. So some of the names listed on the lawsuit being Jamie Marchi, Monica Riel, and of course Ron Toy. Now these people are included mainly because it's very provable that their actions on Twitter helped to get him fired, because they started a whole, basically like a Twitter campaign over getting this guy kicked out of Funimation. Hence, #KickVic. They've kind of made themselves liable. And the suit for defamation, torturous interference with existing contracts, torturous interference with prospective business relations, civil conspiracy, and vicarious liability. And it's a suit filed in Texas. This is sounding awfully familiar, isn't it? For those of you who are following along with the Meyer v. Wade lawsuit, it kind of sounds similar to that. Similar idea being that Wade was defaming Meyer, spreading rumors about him, and actually contacted the publisher of his book to make sure that his book would not get published. And of course that also took place in Texas. So it's kind of funny seeing how similar it is on paper. But of course Meyer was never accused of sexual assault and rape. The suit claims that Ronald, a Funimation agent or employee, has tweeted more than 80 times that Vic sexually assaulted or assaulted Monica, more than 10 times that Vic sexually assaulted or assaulted 3 of his very close friends, more than 10 times that Vic has been accused of hundreds and possibly thousands of assaults, and at least 17 times that Vic is a predator. And I'm assuming that they have all those tweets screenshotted. They're gonna pull them up out of in the middle of court and be like, you tweeted this, right? And what is Ron gonna say? Yeah. Torturous interference with existing contracts. Part of the lawsuit claims the defendants willfully and intentionally interfered with these contracts, approximating, causing cancellation, termination, even breach of these contracts by the convention producers, thereby causing Vic actual and consensual damages. The suit points to a number of conventions canceling Vic's appearances. We all knew that. You can look those up. I think Kamea-Con is probably one of the only conventions of recently that allowed him to come, and of course, Monica and her friends kind of had to throw a whole fit about it, and they refused to go if Vic was going. Torturous interference with prospective business relations claims there was reasonable probability that Vic would have entered into agreements with other production companies and conventions. However, the defendants' unlawful actions prevented these relationships from occurring. The civil conspiracy claims the defendants conspired and acted in concert to defame Vic, interfere with his existing contracts, and interfere with his prospective business relations, and knowingly assisted and participated in others' actions. So the idea that as soon as this Anime News Network article came out, they all started up. There was one moment Vic was a saint, Vic was their best friend, everything was cool. Next moment, fuck this guy. At all times relevant, Jamie, Monica, or Ronald was Funimation's employee and acting in course and scope of her or his employment in the conduct alleged above, or alternatively, Jamie, Monica, or Ronald was Funimation's agree with actual or apparent authority to act on behalf of Funimation, or Funimation ratified her or his actions. It notes Funimation is liable for the conduct of Jamie, Monica, or Ronald. So in other words, keep your employees in line. Funimation was going to do a private investigation on Vic. They're not allowed to tweet about it and defame him for any other jobs that he could possibly had in the future. The lawsuit does note that Mignona was informed by Sony executive Tammy Denbo that they were investigating him in late January of 2019. They specifically indicate it was about a week after the premiere of Dragon Ball Super Broly on January 16th. Sony is the majority owner in Funimation. Tembo and other Sony executives informed Mignona on January 29th that his employment at Funimation had been terminated. Now, as far as whether or not Vic is going to get the 1 million, even if he does win, I'm not sure if he's going to get 1 million out of Funimation. If he does win, and if he does get that 1 million, it's going to be, I mean, if he wins in general, that's going to be a big dent on Funimation. Not only, financially losing $1 million, but also you got this label on you now that you fire people for fake allegations. Funimation has probably already been getting hurt financially over this whole situation. Losing another $1 million, that's the last thing they need. But whether or not Vic gets the $1 million, it really depends on how much he can prove that Funimation has cost him. Lawsuits are not actually meant to punish or to reward people who have been wronged. Lawsuits are more so meant to put you in the position that you were in before you were wronged. If the damages are equal to $1 million, then he gets it. But if it's more like, maybe like 25,000, maybe like this much actually that he lost, then he'll probably get a smaller amount. It depends how the court rules it, and depends how convincing his lawyers are. Now, what I want out of this lawsuit is I want more clarification, honestly. I know that you don't normally always get that in lawsuits. Like, you never always find out what the motive is, like you might in maybe, say, movies about lawsuits. But I honestly am curious why. Why did this movement start against Vic? What was the motivation behind it? Because it really did feel like it came out of nowhere. Granted, like I said before, there have been other situations where Vic has been threatened to be fired, over the whole yaoi fan art thing, over him being Christian and talking about his beliefs with his fans. Is that the reason? Because Funimation held on to him for all that time, even when those rumors were going around, they still held on to him. Why now? What's the big push, So, in other news, you might have noticed, the famous Elon Musk has changed his avatar to Edward Elric. So some people theorize the reason why Elon has done this recently is because, mainstream media pushing this story about Vic versus Funimation. It could be him showing that he's on Vic's side over this. There's a huge amount of people who are on Vic's side during this lawsuit, and I guess I'm one of them. I'll say that I'm one of them now because I don't see any reason to believe that Vic is actually a predator. Even Monica's own statement, it's like she said that he kissed her, and she let him kiss her. That's not rape. That's not sexual harassment. She doesn't really have a real claim. And then you got the hair pulling thing and whispering in the ear. That's kind of, weird. Yeah, you could claim that is harassment. But if you don't say anything to him, and Monica said she never told him anything about that because she saw it with so many different people, she just assumed that it wasn't weird, which her statement was weird in general. Monica's statement, her original statement, I made a whole video about that when that came out. That was a weird statement. But if you're okay with him pulling your hair and whispering in your ear, and you think everyone else is okay with it too, then you can't complain about it later. You were okay with it then. What changed? I think that's weird. I wouldn't want people doing that to me. But if you were okay with it, that's your own problem. That's your own story there. For now, I'm on Vic's side. If they come out with big evidence that proves, oh yeah, he did it, look at this evidence, we got him now, then I'll be like, oh shit, But we'll see how this trial turns out, and, we'll wait, we'll hold our breath. It could be possible that Elon Musk is taking Vic's side. A lot of people are taking Vic's side. It could also just be a coincidence. Maybe Elon Musk is a Full Metal Alchemist fan, and he just wanted to change his avatar and throw out some dank memes. So I know it's a little bit weird for like a channel like me to be talking about lawsuits in the first place. I don't really know that much about law, What do I know about law? I watch Judge Judy, Judge Janine Pirro, Judge Mathis, all the different judge shows. Watch my cousin Vinny. But if someone is trying to ruin your life, if someone's basically fucking you over, you gotta take legal action. Study up on the law, find out what they're doing that you can put on that suit. Because chances are, if somebody's ruining your life, it's probably against the law. If I'm gonna be blunt, if somebody is, like, harassing you and making your life a living hell, making it so you can't get a job anywhere, it's probably against the law. You should look it up. So the main reason why Mignona's lawsuit and Meyer's lawsuit are important is because it's both situations where people are being defamed, harassed, and basically threatened to have their lives ruined. And nobody should have the ability to ruin your life for it. So rather than letting it happen, rather than taking your blows and then changing your name and trying to come back, you need to let these people know, hey, you can't do that. That's not okay. You're gonna get punished for it. There are people who have jobs, and the people that they work with are just those kind of people who, if you, like, say something to upset them, or if you double-cross them somehow, they're going to come after you and they're going to use their power to try to ruin your life. However, if they know that they can't get away with it, they're going to be a lot more cautious of trying to ruin your life. If you have lawyers by your side, they're going to be like, maybe I shouldn't do that. So guys, tell me what you think about the lawsuit down below. Do you think that Vic's gonna get the money? And do you think that Funimation's gonna lose? How do you think this will affect allegations in the future? Is it gonna have a positive impact on society? Are we finally gonna be more skeptical and stop just believing anything that comes out on the internet? Let me know below, like the video, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye!
Program restart.